Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. And today we are in San Sequoia, which is the world that came with the Sims 4 growing together a couple years ago, I think, at this point. And my main goal for this home was to just build a nice sized family home for at least 2 parents and 2 children, because I started building this right before the Adventure Awaits expansion pack came out. And I wanted to make sure I could upload something to the gallery that you all could download right away and have your family live in it before you go about building your summer camps for the kids to go away to, or the retreats for the parents to go away to. I wanted you to be able to get both aspects of that gameplay from the new pack. There is nothing from the new pack in this build itself because, like I said, I started building it before that pack came out. But you'll see now the inspiration image for this build is up on the screen. It is from Pinterest. I'm not sure what the search criteria I used was. I think it was actually just a suggested build that popped up right on my homepage. So can't really take too much credit for that, but I really liked the colors of the home. I liked the red window frames juxtaposed to the yellow siding on the home, and I knew that this was a very doable shape as far as, you know, where the garage is and how the roof eaves are placed. I really enjoy that look of the kind of gabled roof with the hipped roof kind of just on the edges, and I had never done it before, but I really wanted to give it a shot. So I figured might as well try it with this one. The interior was much harder than the exterior as far as figuring out where everything was going to go, because I didn't have a floor plan to work from. And even if I did, they never work out the way that you plan them to. So I kind of just wung it and used my best judgment as far as where I thought things would look best. But you'll see I'm coming up with this hipped roof shape, and I just kind of snuck it in ever so slightly to this side of the roof and then repeated it on all of the other roofing pieces, and it worked out really nicely. It did not clip at all on the inside, which I was worried about because sometimes they do clip on the interior. When you're looking up at the ceiling, you can see part of the roof piece coming through. I did not have that problem this time, so that's, you know, always a plus. And then I went about picking out the wallpaper, which was very easy. Like I said, I saw it and I knew right away we had all of these colors, we had all these combinations of siding, so it wouldn't be difficult. And the Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack was perfect as far as the windows, and also the newest base game update with the doors and windows match perfectly, so didn't have any trouble there. It was a welcome relief, because you know how swatches don't like to match a lot of the time, or they don't like to match the vision that you have. In this case, I just looked at it right away, knew that it would work, and it was very easy to get started. And I finished up the shape very, very quickly. I think it only took me like an hour or two to really come up with the shape. And then I just kind of placed some little bushes here in the front to kind of sort of replicate what the inspiration image looks like. But that's the last time you'll see that for a while, at least. I might pop it up again at the end. And then I went inside and got started on the interior here. We do have kind of a platform step down from the main entryway into what ends up being the stairway, the living room, a little office space, and then there's also a bathroom right downstairs as well, and also a door that leads to the garage where I used a lot of Restoration Workshop kit. It is one of my favorite kits, especially because it adds a little bit more interest and gameplay for the adults in the house. I know this home, I was mostly thinking about kids, but I wanted it to be very family oriented, so I wanted to have something for everybody. As you walk into the entryway, you come into the kitchen right away, and I was having trouble figuring out where I wanted to lay out the cabinets and such, but I think that this is a pretty good layout as far as being able to see everything, access everything. It doesn't matter if the walls are cut away or up or down. Nothing gets in your way. So that was kind of my whole point, was to make gameplay a little bit easier. Also picked out the really big table from Seasons because I love that table, and it matches a lot of the wood tones really easily in this game. So that was a given. Of course, the newest base game cabinets and countertops, because they are just nice and simple, classic family home vibes. Gotta love it. And then we have some shelving over here on the wall because I wanted to use the kitchen clutter kit in here as well. And I'm a perfectionist, so I had to get the shelves lined up perfectly. Don't mind my use of tool mod for that. Kind of redundant, but whatever. And then you'll see I'm adding the stove from Home Chef Hustle as well as the range hood. The fridge, I believe, is from Oh, what is that from? Is that from Home Chef Hustle as well? I think it is. I can't remember anymore. And then also the sink from Home Chef Hustle. I really enjoyed that pack a lot. And we have some stools at the bar height counters, so there's some space to eat at the bar and also at the dining table. I did place some furniture around just to get an idea of where things were going to go, but all of this furniture changes as far as the bedroom furniture and the living room furniture. I wanted there to have a fireplace because it was very important there was a chimney on the top of this home, and a fireplace needs to have the chimney because then you get the effect of the smoke while you're playing the game. Over here we are splitting up this little square, and that is for the kids' rooms, so you see that later on. Picking out the roof texture though, I just went with this very light brown shingle because it matched the inspiration image well, and then I was playing around with the garage, kind of giving it more of a frame because that's a fake door. Obviously there's no garage doors. I don't know why. I could have used the one from City Living, but that's a little bit too industrial. I wanted it to look more polished. But on the front porch we have some furniture that I think is from the Perfect Patio, don't quote me on it, and also a little table off to the side with like a patio candle and a palm tree plant because that's just fun, and a little drinks tray, some plants. I just tried to keep it really simple and open. I'm also not used to not putting a fence on my front porches, but because the image did not have a fence, I decided to be brave and also not put a fence. So very simple, very easy, nothing too crazy. In the kitchen, we use one of the new wallpapers, one of the new tile wallpapers from a base game update not too long ago, and then these new lights that came with, I think, Businesses and Hobbies, I'm pretty sure, just above the bar height counters. And then I put some tile on the floor, and I used the very tiny, skinny, low-lying fence piece to put like a threshold between where the tile ends and the wood floor begins. And I love these curtains. I don't get to use them very often because they are kind of niche, but they are from movie hangout stuff, and I just used the white swatch of those. Some flowers on the table, some nice shelving with some hanging scarves and hats, just nice and easy and simple. A little rug. There's also the parenthood board because that way your Sims can leave notes for each other. They can have a schedule, they can have a curfew, all of that fun gameplay stuff. And then you'll come down into the living room, and we have the Book Nook kit, couches and easy chairs, and also the end tables from Businesses and Hobbies, which I enjoy. I was going to do a large built-in bookshelf all around the fireplace, but I decided not to because it looked a little too clunky and it made the room feel too small. I wanted to keep it pretty airy and open. Repeated those same curtains from the kitchen in this room as well, and from there I decided that over in this corner, it was perfect space to have like the family computer, quote unquote. I'm not sure if that's even a thing anymore, but in my household it was. So I have this little desk from high school years, and then I pulled out one of the most expensive computers because I had to, and this chair from high school years as well. There's also the rug from Lil Simsy's kit, the Comfy Gamer kit, and some more plants just scattered around. I also put in a tall piano, which I think came with Growing Together, if I'm not mistaken. That one should have come with Growing Together. And then later on, I think I add a little kids activity art table to that space, so a lot of that gets moved around. Now we're in the downstairs bathroom. There's nothing too crazy about it, but I did use Toolmod to slightly size up the shower tub combo so that it would fit into the wall nicely, and that way the tile would be continuous all the way around, and it wouldn't have that stark white square tile on one side versus the blue thin spa day tile on the opposite side. And of course, throw in all of my favorite bathroom stuff. We have like a little hutch. We have the little rug in front of the shower tub combo, and then we have soap pump, the toothpaste cup, the toilet paper and plunger, some extra toilet paper on the back of the toilet, of course, and some towels up on the wall. If you hear my stomach growling, no, you didn't. And I apologize if you hear my dishwasher because it's life. But we have some more bushes out front going in just to match the rest of the home. Here's a little tour of the living space. I also added like the little bar globe thing and some wall decorations. I kept it very simple and clean and nice. I just wanted it to be nice and open. The kids have plenty of room to play with their imaginary friend dolls maybe that you might place when you get the new pack. I wish I've had time to play with the new pack, but I have not. I've just been watching a lot of other Simmers play. I've been too involved with this build, so I have no first-hand experience with it yet, but I hope that you are enjoying it if you got the pack. I can't help myself and I got it and I have not touched it since. So here in the garage, you'll see I have the Restoration Workshop kit things going in. Like I mentioned, we have the standard like snap-on shelving sets and also the workbench. We have the water heater and the electrical box out here as well. And then this little selection of planks of wood for, just in case. Also a standing fan just because that's fun. And then I threw in the decorations box in here as well. It just seemed like the right place to put it. And then the flooring from Business and Hobbies, the concrete flooring. And I repeated the same pattern from the outside to the inside of the garage door. So it would just be nice and continuous. And I also love this wallpaper that came with Restoration Workshop. It is very stereotypical garage to me. So threw that in there. We'll be back in a little bit because I'm going to be adding some more clutter very shortly. But now we're in the kitchen because we're going to do my favorite kitchen clutter stuff. We have all of our food containers going up on these shelves. There's also like a kitchen timer. I put in the little butcher block kind of trolley thing, I guess is what you'd call it, over off to the side with some baking things on it. We have a Lazy Susan on the middle counters, and then I'm adding some cutting boards, some utensils, a little tablet for recipes, the knife block, just all my favorite little kitchen stuff because I can't help it. I'm a cluttery person in real life. I'm a cluttery person in The Sims. I can't be helped. I did leave plenty of room on the counters for your Sims to be able to get where they need to go and to cook everything without you having to move around anything else. So we have some dish racks and the soap pump over by the sink. I love the new fruit basket that hangs up on the wall there. I want that in real life, so threw that in there too. And then also a lunchbox for the kids so they can pack up their lunch before they go to school. Little candle on the table for some ambiance. And then up here in the bedrooms, there are 2 bedrooms for 2 children. One is a boys' room, one is a girls' room. Kept it nice and simple. Up here in the boys' room, he has a matching bed and rug set up with the blue clouds, but I also gave him a lot of space themed things. So he has this little, like, I made it myself rocket ship, and then also the rocket ship dollhouse thing. I did size it down a little bit. It was ever so slightly too big, and I made sure that the Sims could play with it. They had no trouble there. And then, of course, a nice dresser. I think that one is from University. I'm not 100% sure, of course, but we have some curtains going up that match the blue cloud theme up on the windows, and I tried to alternate them so that you would have a little bit of difference in between them and it wasn't all the same. And then I believe for the wallpaper, I picked another one that has more clouds and blue color. It just kept it all cohesive and easy. Again, these kids grow up too fast in this game, as they do in real life, so you'll probably end up changing up the room anyway. I think as I was playtesting, the girl ended up aging up to a teen anyway, right before I could get her to play with the imaginary friend doll and get a nice screenshot. So I had to use her brother instead. So you'll see him in the outro picture. But we have a lot of very eclectic things in his room. He has like the grilled cheese assortment of books that he can pull from, like a bookshelf. He has a little computer desk with a space lamp. He has the nightlight that is like the planet nightlight that is shining up on the wall. He also has the alien abduction lamp that came with Little Simsy's kit as well. Lots of space themed stuff on the wall in general, and of course a blow-up chair, just because why not? What room would I put it in? Of course this one. And then we have the girls' room. It is pretty much the same setup as far as the bed. I just changed the swatch on that, and then I have a matching rug. It's more like pink and rainbowy. It's very girly. There's the friendship bracelet making kit. I also put a marble jar. So if you want to collect marbles, you may. I love that little mushroom dude. I don't know what he does, but he's cute, so I put him on the desk anyway. And then a little assortment of arts and crafts that I'm thinking she made while sitting at this desk. And I gave her the lovely chair that came with Love Struck because it matches so well. And I can't be helped. I have to use every single pack. I'm sorry. But we're using the same curtains from her brother's room. I just changed the swatch on those as well to match. And then later on, I add a lot of decorations to the walls, all kinds of different girly things. I think the cupcake paintings from Dream Home Decorator, and also this tapestry from high school years. I don't know if I changed it. I think I kept it the mountains because it's just pretty. Some butterflies up on the wall as well. And she has a big stuffed unicorn, obviously, and a toy box. And here's her dresser and her mirror. And I think the dresser's from high school years. The mirror might be from kids' room stuff. But I just really wanted to keep her room very cutesy, girly, pink, and fun. So gave her a lot of the same things, but I also changed up the swatches on a lot of things just to make it easy on myself. Down to the wallpaper, I just used the same exact wallpaper, but in a different swatch. And she also has a lot of animal-themed things, like the unicorn, the sheep rug, a lot of little tiny stuffies spread about. So I thought that was nice. Now we're up here in the upstairs bathroom. I think this is more like the kids' bathroom. So I didn't want it to look too kid-oriented. I wanted it to be easily converted to, a teen bathroom. But I did keep it very nice and bright and clean. We have the shower from Growing Together, which I love, and I put it in this green and silver swatch. The walls match the same tone of green, and so does the vanity. And then this nice hexagonal tile on the floor because it's perfect for this and I love it and it matches everything. My usual bathroom clutter stuff goes up on the counter and also behind the toilet, so I didn't want to waste too much time. I did use the tool mod to move the toilet paper over into the vanity itself because I just thought it looked nicer. I cut out a lot of the process because I was very, very picky about getting it in the right position, but I think that it looks great right there. And it also leaves some room over here for a towel. And of course I put down a bath mat. And then I decided to clutter up the little shelf over here. So there's like a little organizer for hair stuff, bathroom stuff in general. There's also the hair dryer. I put that here. I do change the swatch in a little bit, and also a set of combs. I had to kind of fill up all of the shelves so that the slots wouldn't assign things that I pulled over to it. I could more freely place those things. And then use tool mod to raise up this stack of towels. And then I added another stack just on top of it, sized it down, moved it down, the whole spiel. I love the tool mod. It works so well, and it really allows you to have more free placement of what you want to do. And of course, there's some succulents on top of the cabinet, because why not? I went with this curtain from Cottage Living, I believe, and I sized it down a smidge because it matched the rest of my color scheme. So we might be back there later to do some more cluttering. Over here is the parents' bathroom. I used the same vanity cabinets but different swatch, and I also gave them a big jacuzzi tub because it just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. And then there's a mirror on the wall from Parenthood. It's my favorite mirror to use for bathrooms because it looks like it has a spot to put a toothbrush. And I also gave them a bunch of toiletries on their countertops because I thought that that would make a lot of sense for them to have luxurious bath salts and whatnot. And then next to the toilet, I also end up adding a little end table, which I believe is from Life and Death, because I wanted some kind of separation from the jacuzzi tub to the toilet. And I thought it would be a nice spot to put some towels, also to do this toilet paper trick again, because I can't be helped. And also to put a nice little plant because I do enjoy using plants in this game, and also wall decorations and all kinds of clutter. I also added a trash can in the bathroom. Technically, you don't need that, but I thought that it got the point across. This is the parents' bathroom, and this is their little space away from the kids' bathroom. And I think that it came out really cute, so I hope you like that. We are in the upstairs hallway, and I decided to break out one of the newer kits, not the newest one, because that came out today, again. But this is from the Grange Mudroom kit. I swear at the rate they're releasing kits, I can't keep up. But I did put the very tall cabinet and then this little hutch here in the hallway, threw on this lovely purse and the basket with some towels and stuff in it. I love the hydrangea vase, so I had to put that in there. Love the mirror, the light. It's probably one of my favorite, most recent kits because I think you can use it in so many different rooms. It doesn't have to be a mudroom kit. It can be an upstairs hallway kit, for example. But we have some kids' decorations going up on the wall, too, because I wanted to have something there that says, hey, kids live here. And then in the parents' bedroom, I used more Life and Death. This bed is so pretty, and I love the colors. So I did go kind of dark and moody for the parents' room. Kind of offsets how the rest of the house is pretty bright, and even their bathroom is super bright. So I just thought it would be a good change of pace. I was kind of growing tired of all of the bright colors, to be honest with you. And also this couch. I have to talk about this couch. This is from it's not called the Bella Goth kit, but I'm going to call it the Bella Goth kit because that is who it's based on. I love the couch, the slouchy couch, and the draped blanket, effortlessly draped blanket. It's just perfect. So I thought the colors really worked well, and I wanted to put it in this corner. And of course I had to add a bookshelf because it just looks like a reading couch. I used the same end tables from downstairs, which are from Businesses and Hobbies. And then I picked a dark and moody wallpaper with some wooden wainscoting. I thought it was nice in here. Another rug from Life and Death came in very handy in here. and also some decorations on the dresser. And then I decided it needed a little bit of greenery in here. So I added the leafy frond curtain thing around that mirror that came with Businesses and Hobbies, by the way. And I thought that that worked out really well. It just kind of brought in a little more life to the room. So I used that in here as well. And some paintings on the wall. This one is the blue door painting, and I think that's just from base game. Some plants also on the walls, and another chair in the corner for good measure, because I can't leave a corner empty apparently. And then we're going to work our way outside to their little back patio space, their little back deck. We have a nice little patio couch and another citronella candle. And then I decided to give Mom a little studio out here. Maybe she likes to paint, so I used a lot of the artist studio kit out here as well and cluttered it up really nicely. Also used a rug from Laundry Day to kind of finish that up. But I did keep it very simple. I didn't want to overdo it out there because it's kind of a tiny space. The backyard and side yard gave me a little bit of trouble because it is kind of small and a lot of it isn't really usable. It's like off to the side. You can't even really see it. So I did add like a little bit of activities, but it's not too much. There is the hot tub out here, which I think came with perfect patio. And then I threw in a bunch of rocks and greenery and plants just to kind of fill out the space. So it didn't just go from the lot straight to empty space that you can't play on. Luckily, the tool mod comes in very handy here, and also move objects, because you can slightly move things off lot and they are still usable. I also have the treehouse item, and by the time you get this off the gallery, that treehouse will be fully built, because I'll make sure that the family has built it to completion. You don't have to worry about that. One less thing for you to do. And then I decided to just fully flesh out the rest of the landscaping for this. I just repeated a bunch of the same plants. I like the low-lying flowers and the ferns and the flower bushes, and I just tried to keep it looking not too overgrown, but filled out just enough. And then after that, I add a bunch of terrain paint underneath the bushes. But I think we're just about to wrap things up, just adding some more extra exterior lights. Here are those debug planters that I rose some plants into, and then adding some blinds into the garage, because I thought that it was fitting, get a little bit of privacy in here for whomever is working in the garage at the time. And then we add a trash can, and also wanted one more thing inside. So we have the chess table in the living room, fixing up the rest of the lights and replacing those saucers with the standard ceiling lights that I enjoy. Here's some live mode footage. We have the family sitting and watching a movie in the living room all together. It's very cute. And then in the bedroom, I tried to have both the kids play with the dollhouse, but best laid plans. The girl had wanted nothing to do with it. She also wanted nothing to do with the monkey bar. She just kind of stood here while the rest of the family decided to build the treehouse together. So I think it may have been because she was about to age up and the game was glitching out. But anyway, we love The Sims 4. Here is the exterior of the home. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see next, whether it be with the new pack or with some other pack. If you'd like to see a custom venue, or if you would like to see more family homes, I would love to hear your thoughts. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.